This is Titus Frost, spitting truth, causing glitches in the Matrix.
Bitch, I'm from the internet. No manners, something through the web with my .net scanners. Rude boy with financial planners.
Welcome to my pawnage of the Humanity Party and Chris P. Nemelka Part 2. And this is my response to the video he came out with a response to people putting information out on the internet about him that he did not like but was factual. Anonymous is not a group of hacktivists. It's not an army for you to use for your own political gains. Anonymous is an idea, and that idea stems around the idea that knowledge is free. And when you try to go around and use your trolls to censor and block information and remove videos from the internet that you do not like, you are the exact opposite of what Anonymous stands for. As you can clearly see from the response video that I'm making this video about, he does not allow anyone to see the vote count or to post comments. So I was just going to post a comment, but since he's not allowing comments, I decided to make this video. And he does not understand that knowledge is free, that an open forum discussion is required and needed for a decentralized collective movement. If he's not going to allow anyone else to voice their opinions because he has declared himself the voice of Anonymous, then no one should listen to him, because Anonymous is not your personal army. That's right, Anonymous is not to be used for your own personal political goals or your own personal things. Anonymous is just there to support other movements, to support operations. People can join operations if they decide to, but you cannot go around calling yourself the only voice of Anonymous and trying to use the name of Anonymous to benefit your own personal goals for political aspirations, which is exactly what this guy did. Chris P. Nemelka should be ashamed of himself, and he clearly doesn't understand how Anonymous works. I would never go around and say, I speak for Anonymous. I don't. I speak for myself only. I would never claim to speak for the collective as a whole. That's insanity. So for people calling him out and posting information, he came out with this response video. If you haven't seen my earlier video and other videos about him, go watch them before watching his response video. Now let's take a look at this load of lies and bullshit.
When we launched the Humanity Party, and what we tried to do, of course, is protect the identity of certain individuals, and me being one of them, because I'm the only known public figure that represents the Humanity Party.
Yes, in the response video to a whole bunch of people calling him out for lying, he has lied 13 seconds into the video. On his own website, he put out the Humanity Party Book of Life, which is 121 pages of names and addresses of Humanity Party members, thus making the last statement completely false, as he is not the only public face of the Humanity Party. And I've exposed another one of those members as being one of his main trolls.
Now, I don't want to call them crazy people. I want to call them concerned people.
And calling us crazy is not going to help your cause, because we actually identify with being crazy. Because we are taking on powers that are much more significant and more powerful than you will ever be. We're literally taking on the powers that took down the towers. And you think that by calling us crazy, that's going to bring us to your side, when that's what we constantly identify with? Did you even look into what Anonymous is before you made your little video or this response video? I doubt it.
Concerned that we were trying to hijack the Anonymous name and the Anonymous icon to do something subversive.
Another lie. That's exactly what you did. That's exactly what people made videos about. You trying to hijack the Anonymous name for your own personal benefit, which is therefore something subversive to the movement, because it pushes people away and makes people think that someone like you actually represents what we stand for, which clearly you don't, because you're an idiot. You've shot yourself in the foot. In fact, one of the things you stand for is taking the Second Amendment away from people's right to defend themselves, because that's not in your Constitution that I read. I actually took the time to read through your bullshit. So you've shot yourself in the foot by taking people's rights away to shoot themselves in the foot if they so desire. You cannot legislate a better society. You cannot legislate a utopia. No one has all the answers. People have to be able to defend themselves. You're a complete idiot.
Something, I mean, there's people out there that thinks that the Illuminati, which does not exist in any way, shape, or form, was behind our movement. That
Denial is also defined as abnegation, and that is when an overwhelming amount of evidence is ignored by an individual so they can stick within their own preset paradigm. And that's exactly what this guy does. Confirmation bias. Because if he actually had looked into the Illuminati, he would have had a far more serious discussion about it than putting triangle pictures up on the screen and calling us all crazy for believing in a conspiracy that's actually real. The Illuminati does exist. Anyone who's actually looked into it and done any research on the subject that's serious would agree to that.
the whole idea is that there are some very smart and intelligent anonymous people out there who at one time thought that hacking into the websites of governments and people who they wanted to send a message to was useful. It's never been useful.
Yeah, except for that time that hacktivism created this thing called Anonymous, where people used hacktivism to spread awareness and create positive social changes for society. Yeah, except for that time, hacktivism hasn't worked. I can't believe that guy actually said that. What an idiot. He obviously hasn't looked into Anonymous at all. I guess Chris P. Nemelka thinks that Operation ISIS, which has taken down countless ISIS websites and actually prevented a few terrorist attacks from taking place, has absolutely no use. It's done nothing good for society, and in fact, I believe in his mind it probably doesn't even exist because he probably has no idea about it, because he's done absolutely no research into Anonymous at all. He just tried to use it for his own personal gain. I couldn't possibly cover all these successful hacktivism events that have taken place over the history of Anonymous, and if I did, it would be a massive book. And the best book on the subject that obviously Chris P. Nemelka has never read is Hackers, Hoaxers, Whistleblowers, and Spies by Gabriella Coleman, who actually spent time talking with anonymous members and learning about the group and writing it all down in a book so that new people like me, when we came across the group, could actually know and understand what we were getting into before we got into it. So please, anyone interested in Anonymous, please go read this book, including you, Chris P. Nemelka, since you clearly have not read this book yet.
These prideful, egomaniac anons did out there who have their own websites. Folks in the world, you got to think about this for a minute. Think about these, any website out there that uses the anonymous icon. Anon News or Anonymous, We Are Legion, or whatever these guys are. If you really, really wanted to see who's behind those things, find the actual human being who's behind those movements, who's behind those websites, who produces those things. Because what you'll find are not, you'll find human beings that have no desire to make any change in the world. They just like it that they have thousands of followers that watch their stuff, and that they think that they can breed some sort of a fear into other people to get them to change. Never works, never has, and it never will. You know, and that's the problem. That's the problem that we ran into. And they have deceived all of their followers out there. They've deceived the people that watch their videos, that visit their websites. And what they did was they presented me, little old me, as the culprit behind this. Some anti-Mormon, no, some called me what? An anti-Mormon, anti-Christ, or a Mormon. I'm not anti-Christ, I'm not a Mormon. I have nothing to do with religion. Yes, my personal story is quite eccentric. Oh, what we got? Oh, that just me? Oh, sorry, a little echo.
Want no change? You've got to be kidding me. I've never seen you out there leading protests, organizing marches against Monsanto, trying to inform people in every way, shape you can about the truth. All I see is you lying and trying to hijack the anonymous movement for your own personal gain. I mean, look, this entire stupid video has your name and your website across the bottom. A for-profit website for you, you fucking moron. You saying that Anonymous wears the masks to scare people into social change is one of the most ridiculous lies I've ever heard about the Anonymous Collective. And if people aren't pissed off about that with an Anonymous, I don't know why they wouldn't be. I mean, I can't believe you actually said that crap. And what I said you looked like in your stupid little Seal of Saturn outfit was a satanic pope. And you never addressed the Seal of Saturn symbolism in your video either there, buddy. And as far as who's deceiving who, I suggest to all the people watching my videos that they go out and research everything I say on their own. You, on the other hand, want them just to listen to you as the only voice of Anonymous that they ever need to hear.
Anarchy does not work, and it never has, and it never will, folks. It just simply will not work. It never has in history. Every time there's been a movement, let me have his wig, too, so I can explain what that is.
Obviously, this guy does not know anything about politics, because if he did, he would not be making that claim. Anarchy in the modern era has never been tried. We are living in a fascist state, which is more socialist than it is capitalist, which I've already explained, because in a free market system, you would not have free market deals that are hundreds and hundreds of pages long. Those are not free market deals. Those are fascistic deals that benefit internationalistic monopolies, which is what we have now. When government works directly with corporations, that's fascism, not capitalism. And it's closer to socialism because we have central banking, which is one of the 5 tenets of the Communist Manifesto and a communist society. When you have a central planned economy by a private bank, you have socialism. Getting on with that, before Columbus arrived in America, they did have an anarchistic state in America, and it seemed to be doing just fine until we came along and basically killed everyone off. Well, at least not me. My generations came here. I'm first generation American, so can't blame my ancestors for that one. But the ancestors of the first Americans that came here did kill off all the Native Americans by accident and by conquest. And before the White Brothers came here, they did have an anarchistic society. So clearly you don't know your history whatsoever. And lastly, Anonymous does not stand for any form of government. So saying that you do not support anarchy means that you do not support Anonymous. End of my case on that principle.
All we were trying to do is develop a character that you people out there who want social change could get behind. But instead, you created all this bogus information, countered it with deception, countered it with lies, and turned it into something that now nobody wants to even follow. Nobody wants to look at the Humanity Party.
Well, the nice thing is now you see how conspiracy theories are started.
Awesome. Okay, Mike, you need to get Mike so we can see. Is there any way he can? Because can you guys hear Tony?
Yeah,
When he talks? Tony's our producer, and he mentioned that the best thing about this and what we did, we actually proved to the world how conspiracy theories get started.
Questioning your policies and the things that you're promoting, and questioning your past because you've lost your children because of your shit behavior, and the fact that you haven't been able to hold down a job and that you don't have an education are all legitimate questions. They're not conspiracy theory. They're all verifiable facts on the internet. They're not lies. You have to deal with it, you butthurt idiot. I'm not the dude who has kids and then can't pay for child support. I actually take care of a kid if I have one. You're an absolute loser and a deadbeat dad. Deal with it.
Because the Humanity Party is for a world order.
Because the Humanity Party's for a world order.
Yep, he said it himself. The Humanity Party is for a world order. Nothing else to say here. Just wanted to point out that this idiot also said that as well.
Here's another conspiracy theory. The theory that government entities and politicians are bad people. They are not bad people. They're simply human beings who want to make a change and understand that in order to keep anarchy from overrunning the world and causing all kinds of problems, there needs to be law and order.
This guy actually said that the politicians running our country are not bad people. It's not surprising that the same person who doesn't believe in the Illuminati thinks that the people running our country are well-intentioned, just misled. I mean, could you be any more ignorant of what's going on? What, does the Bohemian Grove not exist anymore? Does Bilderberg not exist anymore? Do these people not do child sacrifices? Do they not have pedophile trafficking rings that Anonymous is exposing with Death Eaters? I guess all that just slipped by this guy. They're just good people, right? I mean, nothing to see here. No worries about the increasing military police state that we're all living under. In fact, you actually called for more law and order, which is exactly what Donald Trump called for. So, I got pretty much nothing else to say here. This is what this guy wants. More of this.
Because politicians, being the good people that they are, they simply do not know what to do.
Actually, it turns out that our congressmen and our politicians know exactly what to do, and that's sell their souls and sell themselves out so that they can make lots of money and have long tenured careers while selling us all down the river.
States' rights have caused all of our problems. Simple.
You hear that, central bankers and Zionists? Y'all are off the hook. It wasn't you guys that destroyed our country. It was states' rights that destroyed our country. That's right. It wasn't the complete centralization of power under the executive branch and the complete lack of regard for the Constitution. It was states' rights that caused all this. Of course, Chris will blame a whole massive amount of different things, including anyone watching his video, for all the problems. So I'm not really sure what he thinks caused all these problems.
People should have to work for their money. Really?
The government cannot give to you anything that it does not take from someone else first. So yes, you have to work for the things that you want in this life, or the government has to, by force, take it from someone else and hand it to you. So if you don't want to work for yourself, you don't want to work to provide your family, you know what's going to happen? The courts are going to come in and take your family away. Oh wait, that already happened. And guess what? You obviously didn't learn from that because you're still saying you don't want to work for your money.
It is impossible for a human being to go out on this planet Earth, stake a claim in this earth, and say, I'm going to provide myself and my family with food to eat, clean water to drink. Impossible. All the land is owned and it's all controlled. How does a human being do that? There is no way that anyone can take care of themselves and provide themselves with basic necessities of life unless they become a slave. That's right, folks. It's all about slavery. It's all about you being forced to go to work for a paycheck to make somebody else rich so they don't have to work. That's how it's set up. That's capitalism.
Actually, that's not called capitalism. In fact, capitalism is the exact opposite of what you just described. What you just described is financial enslavement, which is fascism, which is what America has. Capitalism would be the exact opposite of that. Capitalism would be a free market where you're allowed to go out on your own and create your own business, and people are allowed to pick and choose what businesses they want to support based on the ethics of those businesses. That's the free market. What you're describing is something else. I believe it's called socialism. And guess what? You can get butthurt crazy over this because you're an idiot who doesn't understand basic economics.
It's your fault if every single one of you are going to school thinking that you become wealthy, that you're going to go to school and get a degree and you're going to go out of college and get a great job and you're going to make a lot more than the people that are working in the fields or the people that are working in McDonald's. Okay then, what happens if all the people working in the fields and all the people working at McDonald's disappeared? Or they went on strike and they weren't there? Where are you going to get your egg McMuffin and your coffee in the morning so you then go to school and do what? Study and learn and get your degree and go into debt thousands of dollars for what? To become a slave to somebody, folks.
You are now trying to blame the problems of society on people who go and get themselves educated to better themselves. You're an idiot. And no one is a bigger critic of the modern education system than me. I absolutely believe that you need to self-educate yourself and teach yourself as much as possible. And that just because you have some degree doesn't make you smarter than anyone else. You have to be able to defend your bullshit and actually provide evidence for what you're saying. A degree is absolutely no replacement for intelligence. However, getting a degree and becoming expert in a field is not a bad thing. It is not something bad for society. Trying to tell people that getting educated is bad for them, that getting a college degree is bad for them, is such backward thinking. I don't even know where to begin with that. You should not be telling people not to get educated. That is just absolute backward thinking. Just because you aren't educated doesn't mean other people shouldn't be also. So what other gems of knowledge are you going to be dropping in this video on us?
Only with the knowledge that I have, being taught by the board of directors of the Humanity Party and understanding what I do about world affairs, domestic and foreign affairs. The Humanity Party has every answer you can think of. So, what is our problem? The problem is you people.
The Humanity Party has the solution to every problem except for the problem of you people criticizing us. You literally just pawned yourself in your own statement. Like, you do realize that's a contradicting statement, correct? You do realize you just pawned yourself? Do I even need to go on at this point? In fact, this has now just gotten so ridiculous that I'm going to go ahead and just edit the next little segment I'm going to show you of this guy talking for accuracy. So I've rearranged some of the words to make it somewhat accurate, since this whole thing is literally about him anyways, since he's done no research and clearly is just an idiot and represents a bunch of idiots called the board of directors, which I'm guessing are like the guy who stepped in front of the camera that's helping film this, a bunch of fanboys of this guy who don't know anything about politics and are probably barely educated at all. So let's hear the only truthful part of this whole video that this guy's going to say, and the only reason it's truthful is because I rearranged it for him. So let's hear him out.
When in reality, I'll tell the truth. I'll always tell the truth as a person. This is about me. This is about Christopher. This is about a group of people that needed a spokesperson, and that is who I am.
Yep, it is all about you, because you are the self-appointed voice of Anonymous, who tricked a bunch of what looks like high schoolers into helping you create a whole bunch of crap for your website in a way to promote yourself. So, what are your qualifications to be the president of the free world and have all this centralized power under the federal government that you are proposing? What are Chris's qualifications for presidency?
I have the experience of going up against corrupt judges. I have the experience of being thrown in jail for the most ridiculous thing and being kept in there by a corrupt judge. I have the experience of losing my children to a corrupt legal system because I didn't have the money to buy an attorney to fight the situation. I have the experience of being on food stamps. I have the experience of being lambasted by people who say, no, you don't have a college degree, so you can't have this kind of job.
And I have the experience of pawning you to death in every video I've ever made about you. Therefore, qualifying me for the presidency far more than you or anyone in your group, since debating is one of the main keys to getting there. Therefore, I am better at debating, therefore I am more qualified than you, and I can say you're not qualified whatsoever.
Cool hairdo that I need for the debate.
His next qualification, his hair looks cool for the debate. Yeah, he actually did say that. Check it out.
Cool hairdo that I need for the debate. But
Yep, that's what it is. His cool hairdo is what qualifies him to be president of the United States of America. Everyone should just run out right now and vote for Chris Nemelka in his cool hairdo.
I mean, I could sit here all day long and give you every solution to every problem that the world is having. The Humanity Party can do that, folks. You just have to listen. Listen.
Here's two problems you can't fix. One, no one's going to support you. Two, you're an idiot. Can't fix that, obviously. Three, you don't know how to listen, bro. Because obviously you didn't listen to any of the videos we made about you. And the last problem you have is anyone who claims to have all the answers is clearly lying. And therefore, you are clearly lying.
access to the Humanity Party's board of directors that can solve any single problem that exists in this world.
Yeah, they can solve all the problems in the world except for the onslaught of videos and comments where people were hating all over you for your constant streams of lies and crap. I mean, anyone who sits there and says, oh, we have all the solutions, that's just, you just know instantly that they're lying. Don't fall for crap like this. No one should support the Humanity Party. Chris P. Nemelka is a total joke. If you haven't figured that out by now, I don't know what to help you with. And, you know, I don't really have anything else to say. I could keep destroying his video for the next hour and a half, but I don't have the time to do that. I got way bigger fish to fry, so this will be the last video I ever make about the Humanity Party. I just thought this video was outrageous and I wanted to respond to it. So peace everyone, and thanks for watching as always. This is Titus Frost, spitting truth, causing glitches in the Matrix.
Bitch, I'm from the internet. No man, there's something through the web with my .NET scanners.